Hello everyone. Our today's topic is Gauss theorem. This theorem is also known as Gauss law in electrostatic. It is one of the important topics in this unit of electrostatic. Okay. This theorem basically relates with the electric flux linked with the surface to the charge enclosed by the surface. So this theorem states that the total electric flux linked with the surface is 1 by epsilon naught times the total charge enclosed by the surface in vacuum. Okay, so consider a charge q, say plus q, is enclosed by the surface, say s. Then what is the total electric flux linked with this surface? Okay, so according to this theorem, the total electric flux, that is phi, must be equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the total charge, that is 1 upon epsilon naught into the total charge enclosed by the surface, that is plus q. So flux must be equal to q upon epsilon naught. As we know that a flux is the surface integral of the electric field passing through the surface, so phi must be written as the integral over surface s E dot ds, or we can say this is the surface integral of electric field, that must be equal to q upon epsilon naught. Say this is equation first. So this equation represents mathematically the Gauss theorem, or we can say Gauss law in electrostatic. Okay, now most important things that the surface over which we take the surface integral, okay, this surface is called a Gaussian surface, like this. Okay, so a Gaussian surface, what is Gaussian surface? The important characteristics of Gaussian surface that at every point of Gaussian surface electric field remains fixed. Electric field remains fixed. Okay, so this is all about the Gauss theorem. Now there is a proof for this relation. Okay, so in order to prove this theorem, let us consider a sphere, say this, having center, say point O, and let a charge q is placed at the center of the sphere. Okay, let the radius of this sphere, say r. Okay, now consider any point P on the surface of this sphere. Now we know that according to Coulomb's law, at point P, electric field due to this charge is related with this displacement, or we can say the radius of the sphere. So electric field at point P is given by this E must be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square, distance square. This is the magnitude of the electric field at this point. Now as it is a positive charge, so its direction must be in this direction, or we can say in the direction of normal or radius vector, so it is represented by a vector r cap. Okay, so the direction of electric field must be written with a unit vector r cap. Now, as we know that, so this is equation second. Now, as we know that, if we consider a small surface area around this point P, okay, let this small surface area having area ds, and what is the direction of this area vector? As it is a surface, then its area vector is having direction normal to the surface, that is say n cap. Okay, so now consider a small area element, say ds, around point P. Okay, such that this ds vector, as area considered vector, so we can write area vector must be equal to the magnitude of this area and its direction. Okay, so now say this is equation third, say. Okay, now we know that according to Gauss, according to Gauss law, the surface integral, what is that surface integral? So surface integral is the total flux passing through the surface. Okay, here the Gaussian surface is a sphere. Okay, so we can say the flux linked with the surface is given by this phi. Say this, we consider here a small area, so that the flux linked with this area is say d phi, which is equal to the product of electric field and the area vector. Okay, but the value of electric field is from equation is second, so we can write here 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square into r cap dot ds vector, means from equation third ds dot n cap. So we can write ds dot n cap. So this must be written as phi must be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square into ds r dot n, or we can say r cap dot n cap. But as vector r and vector n are in the same direction, so that their dot product remains the magnitude of their product of their magnitude, as the magnitude is 1, so we can write here as r cap dot n cap must be equal to 1, so d phi must be written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square into ds. Say it as equation number 4. Okay, now as it is a flux linked with the small area. Now if we want to calculate the total electric flux, now for total electric flux linked with the surface, with total surface, so we can integrate equation 4 for whole surface, that is a sphere. Okay, so integrating this, we get integration of d phi must be equal to integration of this 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square ds. As the total flux is phi, so it must be written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square integrating with respect to s. Okay, so 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square, and this is the integration over whole surface, say s. Okay, the surface s is the surface of this sphere. Okay, now if we get the total surface area of this sphere, we know that the total surface area means the value of this integral is become the total surface area of the sphere, which is 4 pi r square. Now 4 pi is cancelled out and r square is cancelled out, so we are remaining with s q upon epsilon naught. Yes. Okay, so we can say the phi, that is electric flux, must be equal to charge by epsilon naught, which is the Gauss theorem. Say equation fifth. Okay, now if the charge is distributed in some medium having dielectric constant k, so flux must be equal to q upon k into epsilon naught, or we know that k into epsilon naught must be written as epsilon, that is phi must be equal to q upon epsilon, where epsilon is the permittivity of that particular medium. Okay, so this is all about Gauss theorem. Thank you very much.